Yo, triple drops hit, that's a jackpot swing. Grinding all day for the gear I bring. 3 times the loot, yeah, I'm feeling fine. Stacking up shards like it's overtime.
Welcome back to the class, everyone. Ever since I started playing Galaxy of Heroes, I've always really enjoyed double drops. Number 1, it always just meant more stuff. Number 2, it's always presented a really interesting challenge on how you can maximize efficiency. Well, today, I have our greatest challenge yet, and that is how to maximize triple drops. So ultimately, this video will be a greater analysis of how to maximize triple drops, but I do want to say, and this is important, I did already post a comment in the previous video, but the previous video we had for hoarding energy for May the 4th is incorrect. I did do that based off of speculation of previous years, so I wasn't really working with hard data, and I did say that up front, but it's important that I say as many times as I can, the double drop event for May the 4th will not be happening until May 6th, and only go through May 7th, and on May 8th, we will be having triple drops. So instead of twice the amount of objects falling, you're going to have triple drops. So moving over to our spreadsheets, again, I just want to say this, the dates for hoarding now for double drops is no longer going to be April 30th, which is great because that date doesn't exist anymore, at least for 2025. It is now going to be May 2nd. I'm not going to re-go over this whole part because all of you who watched that previous video, or really any previous video for hoarding, you understand the general concept here. But just know that if your normal energy needs to start May 2nd, aka tomorrow, or today if you're in Japan, and then May 3rd is when you need to start with all the other energies. So now that we've kind of covered the overall date change and what that looks like, and these are the numbers you need to end with, we need to address triple drops and how to handle them. Now, triple drops are going to be particularly interesting and are going to require multiple spreadsheets that I will show you here in a second, because the overall analysis isn't just measuring how much triple drops will do, it's measuring how much they will do against double drops. What I mean by that is the whole process of hoarding for double drops or triple drops is you are foregoing using energy in the days prior because it should benefit more when the event actually launches. So what you don't want to do, and I'll explain the math here in a second, what you do not want to do is just be like, oh, so triple drops are actually going to be on May 8th, so that means I shouldn't start hoarding May 2nd, I should just push it forward to May 4th. You really do not want to push it up and just aim to drop everything on May 8th, and here's the reason why. This is going to sound a little bit stupid, but it's a really important thing to understand. Double drops are double the amount of single drops. Triple drops are not double the amount of double drops. The reason why that matters is because if you are hoarding energy through the double drop event, you are going to be sacrificing more than you would be if you were just hoarding through a normal single drop territory. To kind of lay this out for you, I have these two graphs comparing what it looks like to hoard for double drops versus as to what it looks like to hoard for triple drops while there's a double drop event going on, which is the case because if you are trying to have a hoard ready for May 8th, that means you have to be hoarding through May 6th and 7th, which is the double drop event. So back to the comparison here. Here we can see that let's say you want to hoard your normal energy for double drops. So you are going to forego spending 240 normal energy because that's what you have to do to go beyond the cap, or rather the 144 cap, where you will no longer be accruing energy. That doesn't really matter because all the energy that you bank from that day through 3 crystal refreshes as well as 3 just going and claiming your free energy ends up being 495. You get essentially another 495 because it gets doubled. So you have the initial value plus the surplus. This ends up netting you 255 energy for normal. Yes, you did sacrifice 240 the day before, but the amount that is going to be doubled is ultimately going to make up for that, and that's fantastic. The problem with triple drops is that all the numbers that we are now sacrificing are going to fall into the days that have double drops, meaning while you are technically only sacrificing 240 energy, you're sacrificing in reality 480 value of energy, because the energy you could have spent during double drops is worth double. Now, on the flip side of this, you're not actually going to be getting the same net, because the extra energy that you are going to have saved for triple drops is going to be the same difference between single and double. It's going to increase 495 each time, because single, double, triple. So ultimately, you're going to be netting, I mean, almost even, or in some cases, less energy overall by doing that. So this is what we want to avoid. You should not be hoarding through double drops. You should be taking advantage of it, because ultimately, the increase from double to triple should be seen as 50%, not as another leap. Now, what I am going to recommend everyone do, and that I am going to be doing myself, it's a little bit complicated, but it should pay off in the long run, and that is going to be the following. What I'm going to recommend people do is hoard for double drops completely normally. So if you watched the previous video, if you watched any other hoarding video, you know, 4 days before you start with normal, then you go into the other energies the following day. You end the night before as far above the cap as you can at 2,119, 1,119. You do all that perfectly. Double drops hit. It's May 6th. You go in there. You don't get any Omicrons. It's fine. You'll get plenty of Chirotech on the normal notes. Then you do all your refreshes for May 6th as well. Go get more items. Call it a day. May 7th rolls around. You go throughout the entirety of May 7th, spending all of your naturally accruing energy. But what you don't do, you do not refresh until you get to the very end of the day, where you should already be hitting those limits of 144. And then once you're about to go to bed with 144 over all your energies, is you are going to refresh 6 times on each energy, or really whichever energy you want to be doing this for. And that is going to yield you a grand total of 864 energy. Now, since you will not be spending that on May 7th during the double drop event, you are going to essentially be foregoing 1,728 energy value. In addition to that, you're also going to be losing out on 160 energy, because I'm going to assume that you're going to be sleeping for 8 hours between your reset, and in those 8 hours, you will be accruing 80 energy. The reason why I'm attributing 160 energy value to it is because that's during a double drop time, so realistically, you're losing out on even more. The reason why this is okay is because when we take that 164 energy that we have banked at the very end of the double drop day, once triple drops start, we are going to be able to get 2,592 energy value worth of it overall. Meaning that even if we minus out the 160 that would naturally be accruing that we'll lose, and we knock off the 1728 of value that we would have gotten the day before, we still come out to a profit of 704. So I really like this method, because at least in my head, this seems significantly simpler. You are going to follow the normal pattern for double drops as if nothing is going to be different. And then the second day, when the double drops are active, you're going to spend all the energy that comes in as you normally would until you get to the very end of the day, and then you're going to let it accrue to 144 and then spend, I'm recommending 6 refreshes just because triple drops are going to be worth even more. But if you can only afford 3, then do 3. Once you factor everything in, it still ends up with a profit, not as large, but still good. So if I go ahead and take out the 720 energy from 6 refreshes and put in 360, and then do the same on the day that you'll actually be using them, that'll be times by 3, you still net out 344 energy just by doing that one night to day conversion, even if you're not going all in and doing 6 refreshes. So that is going to be it for today. Our first video on triple drops, hopefully the first of many. Let me know what you guys think. Until the next time, stay awesome.